I said a long time ago that beginning with immigration, beginning with some of the cuts on the poor, the budget, education, kids, now public employees and unions in general, it's the petri dish for every right wing ideological wacko idea. The Arizona legislature is going to pass it, unfortunately, and the governor is going to sign it. I think this is with 1070, went on with selective laws against certain study areas for only Latino students. What went on with a variety of laws, that Barack Obama had to prove he was a citizen, had to bring documentations to Arizona in order to run for president. That's the kind of right-wing extremist whack jobs that we have in the legislature, and we have a governor that goes along and signs it. Everybody's making fun of Arizona. The new handshake is to wag your finger in the face of somebody. That's the Arizona handshake, and I think the unions, from my conversation with not only organized labor and union leadership, but with working people in general and public employees in particular, there's going to be a pushback, and they understand that part of the pushback is to marshal the resources, not only to fight these laws, but to do a cleansing and do something politically in this coming year to begin to change the face of the decision makers in our state. Otherwise, this same kind of extremist legislation is going to continue to happen. There's the obvious one of the governor, and I think as a target, as a figurehead target, that'll be where a lot of the discussion will be. There is, individual legislators, as what happened with Russell Pierce, that also have the potential to bear some fruit, some good fruit for working families and the poor and the Latino community in Arizona. And we need to coalesce together. We need to strategize, pick our targets, and push back. There's no other consequence but to push back. I think you have to. I think you cannot let this be a quiet issue, an issue that goes unnoticed and only noticed in Arizona. I think you have to nationalize this as much as possible, and I think you have to tie all these issues that are going around out in the state. It's the union's turn under the gun by this legislature. It's been immigrant bashing and everything that's gone on with that. The budget cuts that have hurt children and the poor, efforts at disfranchising women's rights, and now we have civil rights legislation avoiding civil rights for certain ethnic groups, and now you have a direct dismantling not only of public employees union, but of the ability in the future for anyone to be able to organize and bargain collectively if they so choose. They also passed the governor also said, I will give the state employees a $5 raise, a 5% raise if they choose not to join a union, and two, if they waive all their civil service and personnel protections and merit system protections that they have in the state. That's so there has to be not only a pushback. Yeah, the only industry that's growing rapidly in Arizona economically is the detention area. Private prisons are big in Arizona. That's who's behind much of this legislation. The conservative think tank, Goldwater Institute, and others in the nation have made Arizona their little petri dish, like I said earlier, to experiment on these extremist pieces of legislation. What they're doing is not just affecting union members and public employees, they're affecting hundreds of thousands of families in Arizona. Police and fire are included in this as well. What this legislature and this governor have done is that they have not only gone after their ideological agenda, but they've also gone after the majority of the people of Arizona. And that's the key, Ed, that for You know, that working man that might have felt, hey, maybe 1070 is okay, you know? They're taking jobs away from Americans. Now finds himself, they're taking away my rights, and they're taking my ability to really take care of my family. Now it's hitting close to home. And what I believe, through all their actions, they have managed to go after the majority of residents of Arizona, and that's where the political pushback can come from, and that's where the attention has to be in making the right kind of coalition to push back.